Hi everyone, and thanks for watching. It's Handy Val here once again with my 1992 Mercedes R129. So in my previous video, I showed how to remove the door panel. I showed how to remove the speaker. And a next natural step, once you've got this door out, is to replace the door check. And I'm going to show you sort of the noise. This isn't it's an okay door check that I've got here right now, but it's kind of on the fritz. And I thought now is a great time to replace it. I'm going to show you and let you hear the noise it makes. And in some cars, I've seen it make an even more awful sound. So let's hear it. Let's hear the sound it makes. Now, I've thrown a bunch of silicone grease, lithium grease in there, so it's kind of tamed it down, but there's noise. So you could hear that. I mean, it used to be a lot worse than that, but then I threw the silicone grease in there, kind of improved it a bit. However, once it starts making that kind of sound, it's on its way out. And when it does go out, I mean, one of the things with these door checks, I mean, the door check is meant to have the two steps here, right? There's the one step, and then obviously it's the close. There's the first step, and then there's the second step. However, when they do go, what will happen is that you won't be able to close your door. So that's why it's kind of critical once it starts making that kind of sound, and the sound starts to become a little bit unbearable, obviously a lot worse than this. It's time to get them out. All right, so I've got the component right here. Let's have a look. Here's the part. I'm going to put it in the description, the actual part number. I actually ordered a real authentic Mercedes part. Let's just get the lay of the land here, right? So obviously, you're going to see there's a little screw bolt right there. Okay, so this one's going to have to go on the inside and then connect over there. So let's get to it. So we're going to take this bolt out. There's a couple of bolts over here as well. Okay, and then once we remove this rubber piece here, you're going to notice that there's it's kind of a rod there that we're going to need to remove as well as a clip at the bottom there, and you can see that clip right there. Okay, but first step, let's loosen the 3 bolts and then get to removing this rod. Bolt there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the barrier, water barrier, just a little bit. I mean, I'll tape it up afterwards just to kind of reveal the bolt to make it a bit easier for me to get in there. 10 millimeter. Okay, you're going to want to get that in there and I'll just loosen it up. Okay, not too much. At the same time, you're going to want to do the 2 bolts on this side. Not so critical to kind of get the video. If you have your car, you're going to be able to see them quite easily. Again, you want to take the two. Now that I've loosened them up, so the 3 bolts, and you can sort of hear it, it's pretty loose in there right now. What I'm going to need to do is let's start to remove this piece here. Okay, you notice there's a pin here. I want to just push it out. Very simple. Now again, you don't want to lose the clip, and then you're going to want to kind of get in there. And the easiest thing to do actually is to kind of maybe use your socket set and kind of lift that up there. Okay, and then you could use your screwdriver to kind of get the piece out, or you could use what I've got is a plier. So let me get my pliers and just yank that out. I'm going to put some painter's tape here just so I don't scratch anything. You're going to want to kind of go there and lift it up from its spot. Okay. So once you do yank it out, okay, you're going to notice at the very bottom here there's kind of a washer. Okay, you see that washer? You don't want to lose that. Okay, just remember that. Now with all these pieces, when you actually buy the door check, they don't give you any of the bolts. They don't give you any of this. So you're going to need to obviously keep these in a safe spot. The one thing that's going to happen is that once you've got the door stop kind of off, is that the door itself is just going to want to close. Now it's just being held together by the hinges right now. So now you really want to start to take these all out. There's this one piece over here. Okay. All right. Okay, so I've got all the bolts out. I've got this piece out. Now what you're going to want to do is just go in there with your hands and just kind of just take the piece out. Okay. Figure out how to take it out. Alright, there you go. That's all it is. Now this, I think, is not an original. I think the originals were actually painted. So again, I'm not sure how long these are supposed to last, but I know the new ones that I purchased are supposed to last quite a long time. So I think once you do this, you're probably good for maybe 10, 15 years. Alright, so let's get to putting in the new one. A little bit of an Acrobat, maybe one of these is going to hold the door. So here's the Mercedes Benz piece. And you know, there's only one way you could stick it in, right? So there's the screw's going to be there, the 2 bolts on this end, and then this is where the rod is going to go in. So what you want to do is you want to get in there and you want to push all the wires that are there towards, push them out of the way, okay? So you just want to, that's the only tricky part about putting this piece in. There's a bunch of wires back there and you just kind of got to feel your way through, So once you've threaded the piece in there, you could sort of start to see it. You could sort of, you know, you could sort of line it up there. You could sort of see the bolt piece there, and you kind of maybe use your hand to start feathering it in there. Just tighten it by hand. On this side, you could, if you get your head in there, you could sort of start to see it. These other 2 here, if you could sort of see, I've kind of got them hand tightened. Now you don't want to forget this piece, okay? Just remind yourself how this piece goes. There's only one way it goes. Not that way, you know, it kind of goes that way. And just want to get that piece in. Okay, now we're ready to kind of work on this piece. So remember, you've got the rod going down, you get the washer over here, and then you're going to get the clip that goes under there. So let's get the pieces. I'm going to slide this guy in. I'm going to use some kind of grease, grease it up just a little bit, right? Just put a little bit of grease on there. Just going to start to feather that piece in there. Now at the same time, you want to get the washer. Okay, I'm going to put the washer in there. Okay, now this clip comes in at the very end. Okay, so you're going to want to start to squeeze this piece down. What I'm using here, I'm just using my my pliers here again, just to kind of hammer it. Do whatever feels kind of comfortable. You can see it's kind of going all the way. Okay, and then once it's gone all the way, you get back to the clip here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here on the clip. On this rod, there's a little bit of a groove, and that's where the pin is going to go. The clip. And one way the clip could go. There you go. You've got it. So that clip is now in. Now once you've got that settled in, put the rubber piece back around. That piece is done. Now you're going to want to tighten the 3 bolts. Okay? Okay, so here I am now, tightening these guys. Reasonably well. Okay? And looks like I'm almost done here. Try to tighten them up. Go check them all out one more time. You know, make sure we got them pretty good. Alright, so now that we've done it, you just want to test it out here. Let's give it a shot, you know? Oh yeah, that sounds real good. First step. Second step. I barely hear anything. Actually, I don't hear anything at all. It looks like it's good. You may want to revisit it maybe in at least 2 outer bolts just to make sure everything is still going good in about a month's time, but likely not. So that seems to work pretty good here. So that's done. That's a door check done and complete. Thanks for watching. Handy Val.